want the truth!
You can't handle the truth! Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be guarded by men with guns. Who's gonna do it? You? You, Lieutenant Weinberg? I have a greater responsibility that you could possibly fathom. You weep for Santiago, and you curse the Marines. You have that luxury of not knowing what I know. That Santiago's death, while tragic, probably saved lives, and my existence, while grotesque and incomprehensible to you, saves lives. You don't want the truth because deep down in places you don't talk about at parties. You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. We use words like honor, code, loyalty. We use these as a backbone of a life spent defending something. You use them as a punchline. I have neither the time or the inclination to explain myself to a man who rises and sleeps under the blanket of the very freedom of which I provide, and then questions the manner in which I provide it. I would rather you just said thank you and be on your way. Otherwise, I suggest you pick up a weapon and stand a post. Either way, I don't give a damn what you think you are entitled to.
Did you order the code red?
I did my job. You goddamn right I did! A Few Good Men, released in 1992 and is directed by Rob Reiner, fantastic director who directed films such as This Is Spinal Tap, When Harry Met Sally, and one of my favorites, The Princess Bride. This movie was nominated for Best Picture, and it stars Tom Cruise, Demi Moore, Jack Nicholson, Kevin Pollak, Kevin Bacon, J.T. Walsh, and Keifer Sutherland. Tom Cruise plays Lieutenant Daniel Kaffee, a U.S. Navy officer who only has about 9 months of experience. He has been assigned to a murder case to defend 2 Marines, Dawson and Downey. Dawson and Downey are accused of killing one of their fellow Marines, Private William Santiago, who is the picture boy of how not to be a good soldier. So upon investigation, Kaffee and his fellow staff of Joanne Galloway, played by Demi Moore, and Sam Weinberg, played by Kevin Pollak, they discover the assault on Santiago was the result of a Code Red, which is basically the military equivalent of hazing for not doing a good job. Plus, they discover that the Code Red was a direct order from Colonel Nathan Jessup, played by Jack Nicholson, who is the commander of the troops on the base in Cuba. The problem is that there is no proof of this order ever being given. So Kaffee engages in a battle of wits in the courtroom, trying to uncover the lies and the cover-ups from these high-ranking officials. It is a straight-up courtroom drama, and that is where I'm going to leave this, because the less you know about the plot, the better this movie is going to be for you. Well, hell, I've seen this movie 100 times, and I still love it, so whatever. And I will say this again, this movie is definitely within my top 20 movies of all time. Now, this movie is based on the Broadway play of the same name written by Aaron Sorkin, and he is best known for his work on television shows like The West Wing, Newsroom, and movies like Moneyball, which I did a review on, Steve Jobs, and The Social Network. Definitely one of the best writers of our time. And you can definitely tell that this movie was based on a play because there is a lot of dialogue in this movie. There are really no scenes where it's just people staring at something. Every scene, people are talking. Nothing flashy, no brilliant cinematography, just words. And these words are very powerful and absolutely amazing. I mean, hell, the "you can't handle the truth" line is known in pop culture. Plus, I'm also a sucker for courtroom dramas. Law & Order SVU, count me in. So to have this movie basically entirely set in a courtroom, I get everything I want. But you also get so much more, especially with the relationship between Kaffee and Galloway. And what I love the most about their relationship is that it's not a love relationship. How cliche would it have been if Kaffee and Galloway did hook up while working on this case, and then all of a sudden it gets awkward to work around each other, and then this film starts slowly falling down the rabbit hole and turning into a romantic comedy. But this movie steers completely clear of that, and their relationship is only there to improve their work ethic on this case. Lieutenant Commander Galloway is a high-ranking official in the Navy, but she's still treated less than because she is a woman. So in order for her to have achieved that high rank, she probably had to work at least twice as hard as her male counterparts. I'm not saying that's right at all, just saying that's probably what happened. And you can see it in this movie that she's a woman in a man's world, unfortunately. And when the Dawson and Downey case comes in, and it's given to this brash, cocky, inexperienced male officer, you can just see the frustration oozing out of her eyes, and she's thinking, here we go again. This job given to someone else because I'm a woman. Again, sad, but it's true. And Tom Cruise is fantastic as Daniel Kaffee in this movie. I will say that I think this is the best performance Tom Cruise has ever given. He's overwhelmingly confident, but he's very intelligent. He has a very realistic point of view on things. And you can tell that studying things like that come very easy to him. He probably only needs to look at something once and he has a very good understanding of it. Unlike Galloway, who has to study and study and study for it to stick. But she does know her stuff. Again, adding to the frustration between the two. And they complement each other so well because of this frustration. We have Kaffee, who is the lead counsel on this case, because he has the ability to read a courtroom and to read people. He knows what questions to ask, but might be a little uneducated on technical details. And then we have Galloway, who is very book smart, very thorough, does the research, but she's very socially awkward. It's one of my favorite relationships in film. And again, it proves that a male and female lead in a movie don't have to be involved in a romantic relationship. But the one aspect of this movie that steals the show every time is Jack Nicholson. Now, he's not in a lot of this movie. He's only in 3 scenes, and he's absolutely the best part. Colonel Nathan Jessup is one of the most powerful men in the country. He even says it in the movie that his boss is the President of the United States, so doesn't get much higher than that. Unfortunately. But this is Jessup's hubris. He feels that because he is so high-ranking and because he has fought and bled for the freedom of this country, that the rules somehow don't apply to him. Hazing, or code reds as they call it, are illegal, but if Jessup feels that if a code red is going to toughen up one of his soldiers, that it's absolutely necessary. And if he gives the order, then shoot. It should be fine. Kinda has that Richard Nixon mentality. I mean, if the president does it, then that makes it legal. But the best scene of his is when he's in the courtroom, because he still thinks that he's on top. But in the courtroom, it's the judge that has the ultimate power. And they have some really cool exchanges, and you can see the power struggle between the two. Again, another reason why you can tell this was based on a play. Plays do a really good job of showing that tug of war, that game of tag between actors and dialogue on stage. But in order for this movie to completely work, Sorkin absolutely had to nail the culture of the Marines. Their discipline, the different tier systems that they have, the code that they live by, and I think Sorkin absolutely nails it. I mean, they call it out. These men follow orders or people die. It's that simple. And with that, this movie does explore the question of, what is ultimate power and who's really at fault in a situation like this? Is it the people who are carrying out the order to blame, or is it the person giving the order? God, this is why I love this movie, because it makes you think. Plus, it has great dialogue, has a lot of humor in it too. Just great relationships all the way around, and the setting and the culture is absolutely fantastic. And in the end, A Few Good Men is, again, one of my favorite movies of all time because of its fast pace, its intellectual dialogue, and its tremendous performances by its actors. The "you can't handle the truth" scene is my favorite scene ever in movies. Not the movie itself, but as far as scenes go, nothing tops that. And this movie is absolutely a recommend to anyone who hasn't seen it, and if you have seen it, I definitely recommend you revisiting it. So what do you expect? I'm giving A Few Good Men 5 out of 5 Blu-rays. Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part in my videos where I randomly select which movie I'm watching next. Let's take a look. I'm gonna be a producer. Look out Broadway, 'cause here I come. The Producers, the musical. As far as the theater goes, this is one of my favorite musicals of all time. Does the musical transfer to the screen? Yeah, we'll talk about it. I teach theater and performance in the winter and fall semesters, and every semester I play this movie. It's a great exploration of the theater world. It's a parody of that world, of course, but yeah, the students kind of get the gist of it, minus the Springtime for Hitler stuff. So everyone, have you seen A Few Good Men? What did you think about it? Or, if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, awesome. Comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And when you're done commenting, please like and subscribe to my channel so you know the next time I'm posting my next movie review. So everyone, I will see you next time with my review of The Producers. In the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.